Hey, what's going on? This is DA Bourne. Welcome to the Blessed Opinion. Like, and if you feel in your heart to subscribe, I greatly appreciate it as you continue to watch this video. I hope it blesses you and yeah, let's get started. All right. So, it's not obviously it's not a brand new video, but Lecrae did talk about his experience going to some Hollywood parties like Diddy and some other people. He didn't he didn't put the names out, but he said he went to some Hollywood parties. And I didn't watch a lot of these videos for a main reason because I want to get my own perspective on where he's going with this. And and I'm gonna give you some. I'm not gonna dog this video because I believe there's some helpful hints for anyone who's going in this industry, in the entertainment industry. There's some good pointers in this clip I'm about to show you. So I want you to go check it out. Now before I play this video, I'm just gonna let you know, yes, I am a Christian fiction author. And I'm gonna let you know about my series, No More Hate series. How do you handle being harassed because of your skin color? How do you deal with the false stereotypes at your new workplace? How can you comfort your spouse when she's a victim of hate? How much longer can you be pushed before you take action? This story begins with a group of auto workers and their families as they deal with racial conflict in and out of the assembly plant. Their faith and patience will be greatly tested as they approach an unpredictable season. This book is called Don't Push Me, and it's book one of the No More Hate series. This was written based on the year 2020 when we were on lockdown and we faced um a lot of frustration and social and racial injustice. This is a book that it will be hard to put down because it attacks the core of racism and why God hates racism. So go check it out. It's called Don't Push Me, part of the No More Hate series. Check it out. The link is below. It is on Amazon. All right. All right, let's go. I'm gonna play a clip right now, and it's a great talking about his experience going to these Hollywood parties, and afterwards, we're gonna dissect and break it down. All right, here we go.
I'm leaving him alone. Um, and this is what I'll say, and I won't say whose party I was at or what party, but this is a crazy situation, right? I was at one of these parties, and for me, I'll be honest, there's a mix of work because this is oftentimes where you go to connect with people, where you go to meet people. And I have met people here and I have built bonds, and they have said, I have met actors and celebrities who said, man, thank you for being here. I needed your presence here. You're the reason why I know God is walking with me. And we've had conversations since where they're like, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because how you going to be a light if you never in the dark? Now, if you cannot handle being in the dark, stay up out of certain places, right? Don't play tug of war by yourself. I never went to these events by myself. I was always with people who were walking in the light, and we always had a mission. It was never just to go in there and wild out and be stupid. But the other side of the coin is, yes, if I'm a human, so I'm frail. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was moments for me of like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm part of the crew. Like, look at me. Yes, I struggle with acceptance and wanting to be associated with greatness. And I got caught up in some of that nonsense internally, right? But you would have never known that. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of big names. There was an artist there who said, hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here. And I was like, what? You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning. And I was like, now, my pride kicked in like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? Well, it's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I'm I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio, and I'm headed back upstairs to like the main area where everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out. And the music changed. It was like really hard and heavy at first, and then like jam and dancing music. And it was a little softer. It was a little more sensual when I came out the studio and started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. I won't say how the couch is designed because then that may give away whose party and whose house this was. There was a couch, and on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it hard and heavy. And man, and I was like, oh, my brain, I'm thinking, well, this celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up, and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay, it's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff, and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not. But why they felt that comfortable, I don't know. Maybe the invite list, they was like, yeah, all these people. I don't know. I'm shocked that it went down. But I've been to another situation, another person's party, celebrity party, and a celebrity tapped me on my shoulder, and I was hanging out with them, and it was like, yo, nephew, you might want to go into the other party because this cabana, we about to close it up. And they closed up the cabana, and there was about 3 or 4 big name artists in there. And a whole bunch of ladies start walking in that cabana, and a security guard stood in front of the door.
All right, so let's talk about it. I know you're probably watching the video and you're like, man, why doesn't Lecrae just spill the tea? Why doesn't he just mention what celebrity house he went to and who's doing these parties and just spill the tea? Well, here's the thing. He's not going to spill the tea. He's not going to say whose artist he went to and what took place. And you know what? There's some things that happen at these parties where before you go, you probably have to sign a non-disclosure agreement that, if you attend this party, don't record anything, don't put anything on social media. What goes on at this party stays at this party. Don't mention no names because the people who host these parties, they have a reputation, they have an image that they want to maintain. So, and they invited you to this party, so they don't want you to go and spill out stuff to the media and ruin their image because they'll come back and try to ruin yours right back. So, if you're thinking why Lecrae's not spilling the tea, he's trying to protect his brand. Anyway, so I'm not gonna go and talk about why was Lecrae at these parties or not. He did mention some very key points, and if you're someone who's new to the entertainment industry or want to get into the entertainment industry and you are a believer and you want to be successful, whether it's music, gospel music, or even in acting, whatever it is, or even as an athlete and you're a Christian, he brought some key points. All right. So one thing that he mentioned is, he took someone with him whenever he went. He didn't go to these parties by himself. And he said he was on assignment. And he took someone that was also a believer. He said someone in the light, which I'm believing that, someone who's a Christian. You can't go these things by yourself. You cannot go these things by yourself because you need to have someone who's going to be held accountable. And so in saying that, you want to have someone who is a strong believer just like you, if not stronger. Because if you're if you're new to your faith, you want someone who's with you, who's going to be like, hey, let's make sure we behave ourselves. Let's make sure we don't ruin our image or our reputation as a Christian. All right, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna be on assignment. We're gonna let God use us, who we talk to, who we get connection with, and do what we need to do. We're not gonna stay too long. If things get out of hand, we're gonna bounce. All right. So you have to do that. And at the same time, you try to have a good time, but you got to remember that you are on assignment. You are on assignment, and don't put your guard down. Don't put your guard down, because the enemy, the first thing he wants you to do, he wants your reputation to get ruined as a Christian when you go to these things. So you have to be on assignment and stay on assignment. And if you're on assignment at these parties, like Lecrae said, he ran into, talked to someone, and they'd be like, they were glad that he was there because they know that God is with them. Obviously he didn't go into details with that, but I do notice sometimes when you do go to these settings, there is always someone there who is a struggling Christian at these parties. Like I'm speaking out of experience, not per se Hollywood parties, but going to parties that where obviously it's non-believers, there's drinking, there's smoking, there's a party. But I know from experience, because I'm involved with my union, and go to these conferences or whatever, and you do have these parties afterwards, and people are drinking, people are smoking up whatever, and you know I've always noticed that when I go there, there's always someone there who's struggling in their faith, and you being there is kind of an encouragement to them, that and maybe even a slight conviction, I don't know, but they are glad that you were there, because you kind of bring that light that they need. Um, they maybe they feel less convicted when you're there, or maybe they feel more. But whatever it is, you're bringing that light to them, and so when you go to these parties that you normally shouldn't be associated with, you know, just have your spiritual eyes out there, and someone will be drawn to you. Some people will stay away from you, obviously, because they know that you're light, and just being around you, they're getting convictions, so they're gonna try to stay away from you. But you gotta, there's someone there that needs you to be there to encourage them to live that life and live it properly. Um, so and another thing that I look at through this video, you can't go to these things if you're not fully delivered from sins in your past. So I say this to say this. Okay, if before you got saved, you struggle with um with the flesh, with women, with men, whoever, whatever, that lustful eye, you shouldn't be going to these parties. All right. If you struggle with if you struggled with drinking or smoking weed before you got saved, and you're still not fully delivered from it, you should be staying away from these parties. Like me bringing an example, like when I attend some union parties or whatever, um a lot of people do drink. Drinking is not a stronghold for me. I can be around people drinking and not be tempted to drink at all. That I've been more than 20 years removed from drinking, so drinking does not bother me. Smoking does not. Um, I'm not tempted to drink or smoke whatsoever. So I could be around these people and have a Sprite or have a Coke, and while they're drinking up whatever. That's me. So you have to know what your weaknesses are, and don't go around those weaknesses. Okay, so um if being around women with slightly clothed, that aren't wearing much, or whatever, if being faithful is your struggle, you need to stay away from these parties. So it's either like Lecrae obviously mentioned something where he saw too much. He saw two guys making out, and that was his cue. He needed to bounce. He needed to bounce, and that's the way these things is. You don't get caught up in what's going on, because um your reputation's on the line. You know, if you're gonna be taking selfies or pictures at these events, um, and everybody has a a glass of alcohol, um, if you're taking a picture, make sure you don't have a glass of alcohol in your hand, or even if that glass has Sprite or Coke in it or whatever, and you're drinking a non-alcoholic drink, take your drink out of your hands if you're gonna be a part of a picture, because people are gonna say, oh, so and so he was drinking at that event. He's not as strong Christian as he is. Leave every Do not leave any hint of indications where someone can try to ruin your reputation. All right, because the truth will come out. The truth will come out if you did do stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing. Um, so, and that's the thing, when you go to these parties, you have to be on guard. You have to be on assignment, because the moment you slip up, the enemy will use someone to use that against you. And that's why TD Jakes, is going through whatever he's going through right now. And if he is indeed saying, these are false, that allegations, or these are false things that people are saying about him, the truth will come out. And that remains to be seen. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that part at that. I guess my only question about um Lecrae talking about going to these parties is that if he experienced this more than one time, why did he go back to other events? And you know what? That's on him. That's between him and God or whatever. And maybe he had different reasons to go. I don't think he went because he wanted to see more of what was going on at these parties or whatever. But um, you have to use these discretions, so instead of so much judging why he went to these things, we have to look at ourselves that we might face a situation where we're invited to something like this, and what do you do? What do you do? And so I'll leave it at that. I want to hear your comments. What do you think about Lecrae confessing to go to these Hollywood parties, and should he have done it? Should he have confessed it? Should he have spilled the tea out? Um, what are your experiences in terms of going to events that that wasn't your environment? But I'm gonna leave it at that. Put your stuff in the comments. And this is the Blessed Opinion. I'm DA Bourne. God bless. I'm out. Peace.